Happy New Year and welcome to the 2024 Q1 newsletter. Let's get right to it. Now that was some year-end rally. Santa put every asset class in the bag and he delivered. We call it an everything rally, and that's a wonderful surprise that we'll gladly take. If we remember just a few months back, 2023 was full of concerning news. It brought geopolitical crisis, inflation, rising interest rates, bank failures. But the S&P 500 ended up returning its fifth best annual performance in the past 20 years. The majority of analysts were quite pessimistic about the potential market returns last year, so these returns were quite a surprise. But the analysts I agreed with the most last year felt it was too early for recession, and I said in our newsletter last January that 2023 was going to end on a positive note. I'm glad I was right. Now, it's not that I always disagree with consensus, but through investing and managing money for families for over 3 decades, I've come to appreciate and benefit from reading the comments of independent thinkers, investment strategists who think of all the angles, and especially thinking about what would happen if most everyone is wrong. One of those great investment strategists passed away last quarter. Bryon Wien and I shared a Valentine birthday 36 years apart. My time as an advisor at Morgan Stanley coincided with Bryon as our chief investment strategist. He was famously curious, friendly, and humble. An incredible networker, he pulled powerful minds from around the world each year to come together to talk and think at his home. And not necessarily so that they could all just agree with each other, but to learn. And importantly, to consider the non-consensus, the unknown, the potential surprises. For 30 years, Bryon had advisors like myself waiting impatiently in December for his famous 10 surprises. This is what he called his list of unconventional thinking, things that he felt had a more than 50% chance of happening as a surprise in the coming year. So, in homage to Bryon Wien, one time only, here are my 10 surprises for 2024. Please remember, these are not predictions. These are things that I believe have a 50% or greater chance of surprising investors this year. So I believe they're worth considering. And I always love a good thought experiment. Feel free to email me back with your thoughts on my 10 surprises, or maybe even some surprises of your own. Without further delay, here they are. Neither Biden nor Trump will be the nominee for president. Consensus assumes it's another showdown this year between these two. But with Biden's health issues and Trump's legal woes, there's a potential for some big surprises this fall. Cryptocurrency ETFs get approved, and Bitcoin promptly dives below 30,000. I believe this story has strong potential to be a buy the rumor, sell the news situation. Oil price shocks help bring back inflation. Consensus is that oil will stay between $80 and $90 this year. An economic slowdown coupled with issues in the Middle East could see a price shock over 120. Rates will stay disappointingly high until the second half of this year. Investors likely turn too dovish towards quick rate cuts this year, but a slowdown mid-year could surprise investors who believed we could dodge a recession. This would then lead to a rapid rate cut by the Fed around election time. Geopolitical instability will be an upside factor for gold in 2024, leading to record highs for the price of the metal. Elon Musk takes the next step in making X what he calls an everything app by getting U.S. approval to offer money transfer and financial services on the platform. Most people can't understand why that would be needed or wanted on what used to be called Twitter, but he's done crazier things. The North American Electricity Reliability Association cites peak loads at an alarming rate. Major U.S. cities face electricity and natural gas outages. Demand for these resources is underestimated, and risk to reliability is great. Custom alternative intelligence reshapes the AI industry in 2024. altering the competitive landscape as well as investment opportunities and new job titles. Chief AI Officer, perhaps? More Ozempic-like weight loss drugs are approved to help fill the demand and reshape the landscape of healthcare in unpredicted areas like addiction, liver disease, and infertility. The surprises in the election, coupled with the quick slashing of rates later in the year, have stocks roaring back for a surprising finish after a mid-year slump. I like that Bryon left so many of us to think of all the what ifs in investing and in life. It leaves us staying curious and seeking our own knowledge, not just going along with consensus. 2023 wasn't the first year we've had big surprises, and the only thing I know for certain when it comes to investing, there will always be more surprises in the future. As investors, let's stay curious and humble this year. We'll stick to our long-term plans, but with a dash of flexibility. I think we're going to need it. If you follow along with my videos regularly, here's what you can expect to learn this quarter: investment products, retirement plans and rules, and the elements of financial wellness. You can follow along on your Advise On client portal or any of these social media sites. We'll see how the first quarter unfolds, and we'll see you right back here for updates. See you then.